and welcome back to Paranormal Aardvark. I've been promising you a video on drawing down the light, a very, very, very important thing that everyone does need to know how to do. I know the weather's really bad and hopefully you can see me fine and hear me okay. I'll do a general, what it is, why we need to do it out here, and then we'll do some follow-up in the house. So basically, drawing down the light is drawing down the light of source or God, however you want to put it. It's the highest form of energy. Some people see it as a white light, some people see it as a golden light, some people see it rainbow colored. There's no wrong way to see it. But what it does is, because it is the highest vibration, it needs to be grounded so that it doesn't mess you up, because we couldn't handle that pure energy. So we do need to ground, and we need to draw the light in and ground as well. We need to do it a process of at least 3 times, because people have a really hard time focusing. The first few times you do it, you might need to do it maybe 6 times or maybe 8 times before you feel that you're grounded enough that you can get to the next step. It's very simple. You don't need any tools. You do need to have a clear vision of what you're doing, and I just saw a couple of snowflakes go by, so we'll try and get the beginning done before. So what you're trying to do with smudging and drawing down the light is changing the vibration around you so that negative energy, whether it's entities or imprints or whatever it is, cannot function within that space that you've made. So basically, you use your breath, which helps you to focus where you're sending the energy. The first thing that you need to do is, when you breathe in, breathe from heart, and when you breathe out, push the energy down towards the ground through your body. Imagine the energy going out the bottoms of your feet like roots from a tree. And imagine them growing throughout the earth. They might wrap around some crystals that you happen to like quartz, stones, going through the earth, maybe going to water, maybe going to fossils. There's no wrong way to ground. And for each person, they will see something that is personal to them. I normally, when I ground, will go through and find clear quartz and smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is my grounding stone, and clear quartz is a high vibration stone that you can attune to yourself. Some people might see tourmaline for grounding, or some people might see hematite for grounding, or they might just see a tree root. It's different for everyone, so there's no wrong way. So you breathe into heart, your energy goes down. When you bring it in again, you bring to heart and you collect the energy there. When you breathe out, you breathe up through the top of your body and out through your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head. Imagine it going up through the atmosphere, out past the Earth's sphere itself. I know I didn't say that very well, but through the atmosphere, through space, to the center of the universe, where there is the central sun, which is how some people describe source energy or God. It is basically what some people believe, the source of the Big Bang, that's where everything started. So if you're a scientific Star Trek-y person and you want to see that, that's fine. But this beautiful, most people see white or whitish blue light. It's a very comforting, warming, welcoming, pure love energy that encompasses everything. There is nothing negative there. I know, I live on a hill and I have a lot of people do ridiculous things on the hill, but you know, that's the way they are. So when you breathe back out, up, you can stay there for a few minutes till you feel you have a strong connection. Then breathe back into heart, all the way back down. There is a cord, a galactic cord. Some people, if you know about astral projection and you see sort of like an umbilical cord attached to your solar energy, some people follow that back down. Some people see it, some people don't. So when you breathe this beautiful energy back into heart, then you again breathe out and push all of that new energy down into the ground through your roots. It is very, very important that you ground the source light and you gear it to our earthly energy. It is so powerful that if you do not do this, you can become sick. You could have diarrhea. You could have a whole lot of things happen to you. Negative energy also does the exact same thing for us or to us because it is so off from what our personal energy is. So the same way that negative energy can make you feel, very high energy can also do the same thing, because when you have that pure source energy, we become the negative energy because we're the slower moving energy, so it can feel the same way. And that also sort of gives you an idea of how it affects negative energy when you are guiding it and you have it attuned to earth energy. So when you're doing this, you start from heart, go to ground, come to heart, go to source. That's one round. You do that 3 times. Each time that you do it, you'll feel stronger and stronger. And if 3 isn't enough, you might need to do it 4 or more times. But once you have that energy flowing up and down and back and forth, you go to step 2. Step 2 is when you breathe in this time to heart, you're breathing the energy of the earth up into your heart from below and source from above to heart at the same time. So when you breathe in, you've got the energy coming in, meeting in heart. And when you breathe back out, you go back up to source and earth. And you do this 3 times as well. So its second round is 3, but this time you're mixing both the earth and the source energy in your heart. So when you've done that and you've gathered this wonderful energy in your heart, that's the time when you can send the energy out to create a protective bubble, sort of like the bubble that Glinda in The Wizard of Oz travels in. Your bubble might not be pink. It could be any color. It could be rainbows. It could be white. It could be gold. It doesn't matter the color that you see. This highest source energy will create this bubble when you breathe out. So you've got that last breathe in, it's mixing in heart, and you start to breathe out. And you create a bubble, protective bubble around you. This bubble, every time you breathe in and breathe out, can get bigger and bigger. You can protect a room. You can go from a room through the halls to each room on that floor. You can extend that to each floor of the house, the attic, the basement. You can breathe it out so that the bubble extends around your entire property from rooftop to foundations, from foundations to rooftop. You can extend it to your entire property, to the 4 corners of your property. But if you're, let's say, at a party or you're on an investigation and you're in a place where suddenly you get that feeling and you know that something's going on, you can do it very quietly. No one in the room needs to know what you're doing. You just need to have that focus, create the bubble around you, and whatever that energy is that's not mixing with you will have to move, leave, or be transformed. I will show more of that in another video about how the vibrations work and why they work. I know a lot of people will be skeptical and say, it's so simple. I don't see how this can work. And that is why people don't do it. And that is why it doesn't work for a lot of people. If you don't think that it could possibly work, it's not going to. It's that, when someone says, I want, like Jim Carrey, another popular Canadian, he wrote a check to himself for $1 million. He didn't think that he might ever get the $1 million. He wasn't sure. But he knew that he wrote a check to himself, someday that would happen. And he put it in his pocket, and through hard work and perseverance, it did come true. It wasn't that it could never come true. I mean, I sit there and I think, oh gee, I wish I had $1 million, but I don't follow through with it. Jim did. And is a very important lesson. Very smart man, depending on what you see and what you listen to. But this works every time. When you have that focus and concentration, and we will explain it later. I will walk through the meditation after this. So if you want to stop now and you think, oh, I don't need to listen anymore, that's fine. If you want to do a walkthrough, very simple, straightforward to the point, we'll do that, and we'll add some pictures. The only thing that I ask you to do is before you try to draw in the light and do it on your own, watch the entire video first so that you know what the steps are before you actually try it. And you do need to do it in a very quiet area so that you're not going to have any distractions. But if you do get distracted, you can start over or just continue from where you left off. There is no real wrong way to change your energy. The more often you do it, the more often you're anchored and grounded, you'll find the better you feel, the less problems you have, and the problems that you do have will be much easier for you to deal with. And as far as the supernatural goes, it always works. I have never ever had a problem except when I did not know how to do this, and that's a story for another time. So we'll talk about the actual meditation and walk you through it in a few minutes. I'll be in the house because the storm is coming, and thanks for watching.